What is up, everybody? Sorry about my weird upload schedule. It's been all over the place. But pretty much what I found out, and it's not even me, I gotta give credit to some people on Reddit, but pretty much devices or Apple devices that have only 1 gigabyte of RAM, so that includes this iPhone 6, the 6 Plus, the iPhone 5S, the iPad Air 1, I believe, and the iPad Mini 2 and 3, and all those other devices that only have 1 gigabyte of RAM. The weirdest thing is that not only one do we know that some apps that are in iOS 12 are not supported, including the Measure app and some other features as well, which kind of sucks, and that just goes to show how Apple is already treating these devices differently and excluding some features on these, specifically for people having a lesser version of iOS that newer versions have. And I completely understand if it's hardware things like Force Touch and other things, and if this phone cannot handle it, but I personally think what Apple did here is not justified at all. And hopefully they fix it with newer versions. And the same thing is with the iPhone 5S as well. And it's for devices that are supported with iOS 12. So it's actually within FaceTime. So if you FaceTime somebody or anything like that, it'll 100% work. It's not a problem if it's between 2 people. But what Apple introduced was group FaceTime. So what this means is that you can have multiple people within a FaceTime call at one time. But what they didn't tell us, and I didn't get it from the keynote either, is that if you have a device that only has 1 gigabyte of RAM, group FaceTime does not work. And what I'll show you is right now, I'll go ahead and call this phone right here. Okay, so you see that's working, right? It's going to be kind of awkward, and there's an echo with these, but we're just going to leave it alone. Exclude the audio or whatever. But if I go when I try to FaceTime again and try to do a group FaceTime, so there's no easy way to do this, okay? So pretty much I have these two on FaceTime, and as you can see, I want you to remember this, okay? So I have this on audio, and I have these two back here, okay? So now I'm going to end this call because it's super annoying. But pretty much what happens is you cannot do group FaceTime on your iPhone. I try my best to replicate it. I can't really without it being super annoying. And it's super difficult to even set up group FaceTime on this phone because you can't have multiple people on it. And pretty much what happens is when you have more than 3 people on it on a phone with an iPhone 6, 5S phones with only 1 gigabyte of RAM and the iPad, it kicks out the person showing their face and it only allows you to listen to it via audio. So it literally just said FaceTime audio like you just saw, which is super, super weird. I don't recall seeing that on the keynote. And it's kind of sad too because this phone could have easily handled it. And the reason I say that is because there's another app called House Party, okay? And I kind of wanted to see whether this phone could have handled it. So pretty much I made several different House Party accounts and I installed them on these phones as well. I actually installed House Party on my main daily driver. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make a call. So we're going to go ahead and join this with this. Okay, so as you can see, with 2 people, it works perfectly fine, okay? Now, when I go ahead and do a house party on this, okay, go ahead and watch. So as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and join this one that's already existing. And as you can see, these 2 work perfectly fine. They're perfectly working. I'm going to shut up so you guys can see it. So as you can see, it was super confusing and everything, and I tried my best to replicate it, but I think the iPhone 6 could have easily, and the 5S as well, could have easily handled group FaceTime, as you saw with the house party example. I tried my best to replicate it. Like I said, it's really hard to do it when you're just one person trying to handle all these things, and the 5S has a freaking touch disease problem. But it's super crazy how that happened and why that's the case. Now, I have a theory of mine, and again, I throw a lot of theories out there, but I personally think Apple is purposely doing that to limit features on the 5S and the 6 and all these other 6 Plus and all those other things, because they want people to update to the newest version of phones, at least to an iPhone 6S or something that has 2 gigabytes of RAM and can support group FaceTime, because people are going to go on there, they're going to go to FaceTime, they're going to try to do it, and they're going to be like, oh, there's a problem with it, and they're going to realize their phone is obsolete at the time, which it really isn't. This phone isn't that bad at all. It's a decent phone, probably give a 6 out of 10, but it's definitely not a 3 out of 10 like an iPhone 4 would be. So they're trying to make this obsolete in a way. I really don't like it. And I personally do think, like I said, the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 5S could have supported this feature. So if you guys have any other opinions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. I'd be happy to see them. Hit that like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. We're still giving away an iPhone 6S and an iPhone SE on the channel. And in order to enter, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Both those links are down in the description, so make sure you enter that. Check out the other links down there too. My second channel, my SoundCloud, all that stuff is down there. I would really appreciate if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. And I hope I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.